Tonight on Trading Shots, we break down the Call of Duty World League Championship, hand out some CWL awards, and since this is our final episode of the season, we'll fire off some parting shots. I am Joe Mertaluca. I'll be your host, and I'm joined by our contestants, Ben and Maven. I'm so excited to see you guys. It's time to get into it. It's time for First Blood. The 2018 season of the Call of Duty World League is a wrap, and Evil Geniuses are our CWL champions. Our last week's episode, Benson, you say TK you would win. You were close, and Clint, you picked Rise Nation. Not so close. Obviously, you were both wrong, so while I'm doubtful of your analytical abilities, let's get to it. Ben, I believe you tweeted this weekend that Champs has been madness, and it's as fitting as a description as we're going to get. It's almost like surprises were non-stop at Nationwide. So Benson, what was the biggest shocker of the tournament?
Oh, that's an easy first blood, Joe. Very easy.
It's an easy one?
EG won the whole damn thing. How did that happen? This is a squad which wasn't even at playoffs, let's not forget. Their search and destroy during the league was shambolic, to say the best, and put it politely. And all of a sudden, they fix their issues. They go on a run. Pat Price now has 2 rings. Apathy has 2 rings. 3rd grand final in a row, but no one saw it coming. Unbelievable performance from them. Congratulations. I mean, they deserve it, especially when you look at their grand final performance.
I think that's a good answer. I think it's a good answer, but
It's the only answer, Clint.
I don't think it is, because was it shocking? Yes, but it wasn't that shocking once you saw the bracket. Like, once that upset over Optic happened, you saw them in the top side of the bracket where none of the top dogs were from playoffs. You kind of saw it start to set up for them. Now, was it an impressive run? Yes, but for me, the most shocking was the upsets. Optic Gaming wasn't even in bracket play at the hands of EG with a 3-0. And then I think that right there with it, Rise Nation. They were the best team coming into the tournament, the favorite. They get a top
They weren't the favorite.
Finish.
They weren't the favorite. They were your favorite.
They were the favorite. They were the clear favorite.
TK just won.
They get top 16,
playoffs.
and to go into that as well, Gunless, who has been maybe in the MVP best player talks throughout the course of the year, he drops like a .89. It was one of the lowest KDs, if not the lowest KD on his team. So I think I'm more shocked by the upset. EG is absolutely shocking, but once you saw the bracket, you could at least sort of see how it could play out, and they made a damn run.
Yeah, I'm liking this already. You two get into it. It's just the intro. I'm going to give you both 1 point because it's our finale. I want this one to be close.
Okay.
But I can't lie. I agree with both of you. For Evil Geniuses, what a run, man. They were impeccable. I thought, yeah, they have an easy bracket, but now they're going to face TK. They beat them in the winners final. It was a great run out of them. And then after that reverse sweep, I got scared. And then Rise and Optic, the 2 big dogs, they get shut down early. It was a crazy CWL champs. Now it's time. Let's move on to Quickscope. Over the course of the season, we've watched the best players in the world battle it out. And now that it's over, we're going to figure out who is the best of the best. Our first category, best overall player. Our nominees, Gunless, Slasher, Kenny, and Rated. Clint, you're up first. Who's your pick?
I think it has to be Kenny. I mean, TK go back-to-back to start things off. He comes out of nowhere in a way. I mean, a lot of people don't even know this guy's name, and he's lighting it up early. And he was consistent throughout the course of the year. I can't really think of a point in this entire year where Kenny wasn't in the conversation as the best player. He started strong. He played strong throughout the year. He finished strong. For me, it's Kenny.
All right, so Clint, you're going Kenny. Ben, what do you think?
You know, you look at the list of nominated players there. Rated, didn't win an event all year. It's hard to give best player to someone that doesn't win. Gunless, Maven kind of made the point. Cacked the sheets a little bit at the biggest event. Can't give it to him. Therefore, for me, it's between Slasher and Kenny. I hate more than anything in this world, Joe, agreeing with Maven.
I know.
But you have to. You simply have to. Kenny was sensational. I think now, you know, the start of the year, unbelievable. You look at some of the numbers he's been able to put up with an SMG. He's been rivaling some of the AR players that we've had throughout the season. But the biggest highlight moment for me was the losers bracket final. That was just something where one player truly said, I am not losing this game. I will drag my teammates through. I don't think they make an ASTRO Gaming backpack big enough for the likes of his teammates, but somehow, some way, he got into that grand final. And even then, he played very, very well.
Yeah, it was just the start of the year, right? Right out of the gates for Kenny. Slasher, his NV team just wasn't the best, but you both go with Kenny. I'm going to both give you 1 point. I have to agree with you. Kenny has been so damn good all year long, and I can't wait to see what he can do next year in the CWL. Yep. Our next category is Rookie of the Year. Our nominees are Kenny, TJ, Decimate, and Dashy. Yes, we might have seen them in the past in Call of Duty tournaments, but it's their rookie CWL season. So who had the best inaugural season? Ben, let's hear it.
You know, you listed off some great talent there. A lot of good talent, and I'm excited to see what all 4 of those guys do in future CWL tournaments, especially next year. But if I'm giving Player of the Year to Kenny, and Kenny's a Rookie of the Year somehow, has to be Kenny again. It's short and sweet. The guy is simply amazing at Call of Duty, and he's had a great year. And as I said, if he's my Player of the Year, guy has to be my Rookie of the Year.
I'm going to argue for the sake of arguing because, Ben, I hate agreeing with you.
I hate agreeing with you as well.
But part of Kenny being Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year for you is that he had a very good team, right? They're a championship caliber team at the gate. The guy that I really think about a lot is Dashy. We recently talked about it on Hot Mic. He was top 5 in overall KD, top 5 in S&D KD, top 5 in respawn KD per 10 minutes. And he didn't have the weapons that Kenny's had all year. He has had okay teams in which he has absolutely shined. I think if you put him on a top team, he will absolutely be a superstar. I think he is one of the hottest commodities going into next year. I think you can make a case for Dashy, absolutely. He was called an onliner. People hate playing on the line. He's not going to be able to do it on LAN. Time and time again, he did it. He showed that he might have the best gun skill in the entire Call of Duty World League. I think you can absolutely make a case for Dashy.
I mean, your argument there is essentially just that Kenny had better teammates. If you look
I think that's a part of it, though. I think it's part of it.
If you look at individual skill, no disrespect to Dashy, Kenny's just better.
I don't know if that's true. I actually don't know if that's true.
They play different roles.
They absolutely play different roles, and I think you have to count the teammates in it, though. I'm just trying to dissect it just by what they can do individually. Okay. I think they are both phenomenal talents.
That's great, but we're giving
Dashy's nuts, man.
Right, but we're giving awards here, and I think part of giving away awards is achievements and accomplishments throughout the year. Kenny, by far and away, trumps anyone else on that list. I still think teammates are part of that, though. He doesn't have a championship caliber team. All right, that's great.
He's basically put 3 guys into his backpack all year. Wonderful. Literally, he might have broken his spine throughout the course of the year.
And what has he won?
How can he win?
You can't give someone Player of the Year and then not give them Rookie of the Year. That doesn't quite make sense.
On his team,
Clint, are you feeling okay? Do you want to go lie down?
Clint, you can go lie down for a little bit to win a tournament.
Here's the thing, though, for me. I have to give it to Kenny. Ben, you get the point. Here's my argument. I love it. I know that Dashy didn't have the teammates, but after stage 1, there was an opportunity for Dashy to potentially go to a different team. But nobody wanted it bad enough. You think if Kenny's a free agent, they're going to go after him. You know it because he's a back-to-back champion after Dallas and New Orleans.
Do you think that stands right now? If there was a decision to be made where Dashy get picked up by a top team right at this moment, do you think that's a completely different conversation with how good he's been in stage 2?
It potentially is, but here's the thing. We didn't even watch Dashy against the best teams in the world at times. I want to see him in a grand final. We saw Kenny be able to do it.
Next year
he can put up the numbers under any circumstances. We saw a lot of decisive roster changes this year. Some teams changed their dynamic for the better, some for the worse. But what squad made the roster change of the year? Our nominees are Slasher to Rise, LG picking up Formal, Assault to EG, and Enable moving the team caliber. Clint, you're up first. What do you think?
I think I can go with Slasher. You know, I was a big fan of it when it went down, and then when they get him on the team, they win the next event. They win the following event. They get second at stage 2 playoffs. Like, they were absolutely in dominant form. I know they fall off at playoffs, at champs, but is that on Slasher? Absolutely not. He was still crushing. It was on some of his teammates that weren't able to pick it up. I think Slasher, just the fact that you get him and you go bang, bang, first at 2 open events, I think you can absolutely make a case for Slasher. He's been a monster all year. He's one of the best players in the game, and he's a treat to watch.
All right, you're going with Slasher. Ben, who do you think?
Slasher's been incredible. He really has. Of course, I hear you say Formal to LG. Clint, I'll take this moment to formally congratulate you on a sensational call. Formal was lights out at champs this year. He really was. And at first, there was big question marks over his kind of performances when he joined LG.
All year.
But I really can't even go for him. I have to look at Assault. The guy was just the MVP of the Call of Duty World Championships 2018. He played phenomenal. You want to talk about some of his stats. They were mind-blowing, and I mean truly mind-blowing. I've never seen that player, or I should say I've never really seen Assault improve that much in a short space of time. It really felt like coming in, no one was talking about the EG squad at all. No one was talking about him at all, specifically. But he played against the best teams in the world. He really did play against the best in the world. I mean, you look at what he did against ASTRO Gaming, 3-0 dispatch. Unbelievable performance. Yes, it was shaky at first. Very, very shaky for EG. But when you win the big one and you're the MVP, that's a damn good roster change. I
guess the conversation is here, do you put all the stock in those 5 days, the 5 days of champs?
Absolutely.
Or do you talk about Rise and Slasher dominating for 3 months?
Okay.
I know how important champs is, but for me, like, that change, It was a 3-month tear in which Rise Nation was in conversation to be a dynasty. We are shocked that EG was able to win.
People said they could be a dynasty, but we all know that was vastly overrated. That was if they won Stage 2 and Champs. They didn't win either. They simply didn't win either. It's a good call. Clint, it's a great call, but I just think when a roster change works out to the point where you win Champs and you're the MVP.
But then also,
what more does he need to do? What more does he need to do?
Like Slasher is kind of a one person comes in, right? It's one person comes in, they win 2 events in a row. Assault wasn't the only piece of that for EG.
Sure.
Silly is a part of that as well. And I know we have to pick kind of one here, but Silly's involved in that as well. Assault's not the only piece of that puzzle.
You can make that argument for Rise as well, against Slasher.
Exactly.
But I'll let you go ahead. I didn't like that point, Clint, but
that was a terrible point. You just completely shot yourself in the foot with that point.
Hold on. I know there's some recency bias, but I will give Clint this point. Here's the reason why. After EG makes this sort of roster change, they get runners up at Seattle. And I'm thinking, yeah, this could definitely work out. But after that, they just disappear for far too long. That is when you saw Rise. And yes, there was some dynasty talk. I don't think it was just will it happen? And it didn't happen. Stage 2 playoffs, they got second. Champs, not so much. But I know some people might disagree with me just due to Champs. But you have to look at that sort of 4 to 5 month period where Rise was always in the talk of being the best in the world. Many pros enter the 2018 season with renewed confidence, casting aside the doubts of their past performances. So our next category is Most Improved Player from the start of the year to the finish of the year. Our nominees are Pharaoh from TK, Alex from Unilad, Pristini from E United, and Methods from Optic Gaming. Ben, who do you think turned it up most towards the end of the year?
I'm actually going to go with Alex from Unilad. And I know a lot of people may look at that answer and say, oh, like, you're European, that's bias. I don't think it is.
All of them are great nominees.
You look at how his year started, and you look at how that year finished with some of the numbers. I know going into Saturday this year at Champs, he had the number 3 hardpoint KD. The guy was playing out of his mind. But that whole Unilad team, it was formed. We all gave them that F grade in terms of roster changes. We thought we were never going to hear of Unilad again. That wasn't the case. They improved as time went on. And Alex was a key component to that. Not only statistically, I just think a great teammate and just a privilege to watch.
All right, so he's going with Alex. He's going with his UK brother. Clint, what do you think?
I'll be honest, until about 2 seconds ago, I was going to say Methods. There's a very good case you can make for him, but I'm going Pristini just because of the year that E United had. Like, there was a time where Pristini was basically a bot on the map. They couldn't win anything. You thought E United was going to break up. I thought the brother duo was going to split up. I heard RCs wanted to leave that squad. Like, everything was falling apart. E United's year was ridiculous. But then you bring Fellow onto the team, Pristini starts to get confidence, and we watch him improve until they go on this run at Champs. I'm telling you, if he doesn't improve and get to the spot he was towards the end of this year, this United team did not have a chance in hell of making this run they did at Champs. And it's been fun for me to watch because I love Pristini as a player. I love him as a guy. He's a great person, but like he was down in the depths, man. I thought like he was like so emo on Twitter. I thought he was like sitting at home crying, thinking about how bad he was. I remember back to the tournament in Canada where he gets turned on. E United lost the tournament with all amateur teams, for God's sake, and then they're making a run at CWL Champs. Pristini was a roller coaster throughout the year, but he ended up, I think, at the peak of where we could see him. I love to see what Pristini did throughout the course of the year. It was pretty awesome to watch him develop.
Yeah, this was a very tough category. I think all 4 nominees you can make an argument for, but I'm going to give this point to Benson. I'm going to tell you why. Alex was a guy nobody heard of. When they came into Stage 2,
that's true.
Nobody had any idea who this guy was, who did he play for. We were just trying to figure it all out. Pristini, on the other hand, was on E United. The first couple of open events, they got top 6. He had his opportunities. I think mentally he's probably made the most improvements, but still from time to time, when he didn't perform at the highest level, E United didn't win. And for Alex, it was a great year, and I can't wait to watch him next year. Now for one of the big ones, Team of the Year. Which squad was the most impressive in the Call of Duty World War II season? Our nominees are Rise Nation, Team Caliber, FaZe, and Luminosity. Clint, I think we know your answer, but who's your squad?
I think up until these last 5 days for Champs, you could have made a case between Rise and Team Caliber, but when it mattered most, TK are in a grand final, Rise Nation are crying it out top 16. There's no conversation. Ben, you're probably going to agree.
I have to agree. I would love to say, oh, EG, they won the big one. No, I'm sorry, it just doesn't cut it. The question, of course, there from our wonderful host was the entire season. It has to be TK. When push came to shove, Rise, the biggest event of the year, the one a lot of people thought they were going to come out and really assert their dominance, try and make a legacy. They don't win. They don't win playoffs either. Like, yeah, you have to look at TK. You do. You could maybe make an argument for FaZe. You look at what they were able to achieve throughout losers bracket runs. But ultimately, TK all day, the best team in World War II.
And just to add a note on top of this, it was pretty cool to see. Not just for Team Caliber fans, but I think for anyone that really has watched kind of Call of Duty historically. Like, Team Caliber has been the laughing stock of Call of Duty esports for quite some time. Like, if you think back to the Neslo, Gunjar, Sharp, like those teams back, they made a run. You know, think about like
they were consistently second place.
No, I'm talking about way back then though. But for the last several years, like they just haven't been in the conversation as a top team. So to get back to that form, especially with fresh blood, like they relied on those same guys, Neslo, Sharp, Goon. Like you go through these same type of players, body in, body out. They never were able to make a run, recapture that magic they saw back in Black Ops 2, except for maybe like one tournament in Ghost. It's pretty awesome to see them just get back on the map, and you can thank Accuracy and Kenny for that.
You absolutely can. I don't always love it when you guys agree. I'm going to give you both 1 point. Makes my life a lot easier, though. But yeah, I have to agree with you. It was a lot of fun, right? I think we had a lot of discussions coming into this episode. Rise has 3 titles. TK has 3 titles. Now, TK didn't add to that, but they got another second-place finish, and it was at our biggest event of the year. Can't wait to see what can TK do next year. Can they repeat? Can they be the team of the year?
Can they keep their roster? I think that'll be
well. That is
a
true question.
I think a lot of people that are going to try and pick up Accuracy and Kenny.
Well, will we even have a TK roster? We'll see next year. Finally, we've seen so many mind-blowing moments throughout the season. Reverse sweeps, loser bracket runs, match-winning aces, you name it, it's been in the CWL. So what was the best moment of the year? Our nominees for this category are FaZe Clan's losers bracket run at Stage 1 playoffs, Splice's incredible run through CWL Birmingham, TK's back-to-back wins to start the year, and EG's run to win the championship. Ben, what was your favorite moment of the 2018 season?
Wow, that's tough. A lot of good ones there. For me, it has to be Birmingham. Splice at Birmingham, the crowd at Birmingham, everything about that Birmingham event, it really proved the fans first and foremost
they were awesome.
Were the best that the CWL, the best Call of Duty esports has. There is no argument. The whole Anaheim has the best fan base. Throw that out the window. Sorry, Anaheim. Still love you guys, but Birmingham just they blew you away far, far, far away. Can't even see you're a dot.
Ben, you helped
at this point. That's true, but even now the guys at Birmingham were amazing. The fan base they wanted to get in there.
Shut up, Nathan.
That was also a fan favorite, which has been requested at every open event since. But I think they really made a case to go back to Birmingham, to go back to the UK, because that's what the UK fan base is about. They love it. They love Call of Duty. Of course, Splice made it just so much better, having that European representation in a final there. Yes, they didn't win, but even when they lost, you had the GGLG chant that came through at the end. It was an ultimate sign of respect from the fans. They recognized they watched something brilliant, and I wish we could go to Birmingham again. I kind of wish next year's champs is in Birmingham. I think it'd be great.
Well, you never know, but I don't know if that one's going to happen. Maven, over to you.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a wrong answer to this. I mean, this is kind of an opinion. Like, what moment kind of resonated the most with Ben and I? That was a huge one for me. That was an incredible final. It was one of the best events I've been a part of. But for me, and Joe, you probably remember it, I'm going to go with that phase, that run at Stage 1 champs, or Stage 1 playoffs, sorry. Think about it. They didn't win a winner's bracket match until, what, Stage 2 playoffs? Like, they had an absolutely insane year. They've spent their lives in the loser's bracket. And the big thing is really comes down to that grand final. They get there, they have to win 2 best-of-5s over Optic. It goes the full 10 maps. You remember the replays 1v3, the attach 1v3, the 80-point comeback on London Docks. They killed that Optic roster. Like, that moment killed Optic's Gaming's dynasty, which is, I think, one of the bigger moments of the year. But just think of FaZe this year. Like, you start in the open bracket at Dallas. Your roster is criticized heavily. Replays is back after being a coach. Priesta, they're like, who the hell is this guy? I don't think people remember how much flack they took when they made that change. They start in the open bracket at Dallas, make it all the way into top 4. They lose round 1 and get top 4. They have their run at Stage 1 playoffs, and now look at the end of the year. Champs at the end of the year, they start losers bracket round 1, and they run all the way to top 3. FaZe has had a weird year. They're the one roster that's stuck together, But really, it comes down to that final, man. Joe, we casted it. It was probably the most insane final, considering, like, think what Resident Evil would have been. It was that crowd. It was the fan base at Birmingham. We were at the MLG Arena with like 100 fans there. Like, there was no capacity for anything else. But that's still, like, thinking about that final, if there were like 5,000 screaming fans, that final was insanity. I still think it was probably the best grand final of the year.
I'll tell you right now, if you had that final in Birmingham, you would have lost your voice map too, Clint. It would have been gone.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I lost my voice in Birmingham with that final, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this has just been an incredible year. There's been so many great moments, but I'm going to have to agree with Clint, not because I casted it with you, but because...
Bias. Sorry, why?
Well, it was 2 best-of-5s. There were so many comebacks. I love Birmingham. I love the UK crowd. But that phase losers bracket run was insane. But to be honest with both of you, if I had to pick one, if you're asking me, TK back-to-back to start the year, a roster no one would have expected to do that. That was pretty incredible. But as we said, this year has had so many great moments, but I had to go with FaZe Clan. It's time now for our last segment, the last chance to score some points. It's time for the Grand Finals. As we've established, this championship was exciting and interesting in a number of ways. As we look ahead to the Black Ops 4 season, I want to know how what we've seen here in Columbus will shape the upcoming season. Roster changes, new strategies, pros retiring. Let's hear your predictions. Clint, you're up first.
Oh, wow. As maddening as this final was, this championship final in the year, the one thing it tells me, I don't think we see a single roster stay the same going into the next
Not
time.
one.
The only one maybe, and it was the only one that stuck together through this year, was that FaZe squad. I think there's a chance, but outside of that, I think every single roster changes. Think about it. The one that you probably had the best chance to stick together would be probably the Rise Nation squad, because they had been so dominant for months. But after that finish, do you think that team sticks together? I personally do not think so. Slasher is going to hunt down the best possible squad he can get. He feels like he's been let down at back-to-back champs. He will be on a different squad. I just have trouble justifying any team staying together. Babe, can you make a case for anyone?
No. No.
Not even EG or TK?
No,
absolutely
no.
not.
Right.
I
don't think so.
The big thing to kind of touch on Clint's point here is the game is going to change, right? It's going to be a little quicker. I think a lot of teams are going to make roster changes. I actually agree with Clint again, which pains me, because it was a point I really wanted to make. You're probably going to see every single team make a team change. I think it is as simple as that. But I can go one step further.
All right.
Maven, you on Trading Shots have always been the one to make your bold predictions, always been one to think outside the box. How's this for outside the box? 100 Thieves, they're going to come into Call of Duty. They're going to win Las Vegas. There's your bold prediction.
I actually don't hate that, because I think they're going to have a very, very stacked squad. Now, depending on what contracts are and stuff, I don't know. But like, if Nadeshot and 100 Thieves are serious about going after and making a god squad,
I think they are.
We know Optic Gaming's not in a good spot, right? There are a lot of players to go after. He could basically go after anyone. It depends on contracts, how much money's involved. But do I think that 100 Thieves will have the most stacked roster going into next year? I kind of do.
Yep.
All right.
So we just agreed a lot. God, Ben, we suck.
I'm not. I mean, you didn't agree. You just furthered Ben's points. So
Thanks,
Ben,
Clint.
you get the point. You're our winner. I don't know if I agree with you guys. I think there may be a roster change or a roster or two that will stick.
Who?
I mean, I don't. It's going to be tough for EG to switch.
Now you got to pick them now, Joe. We're putting you on the spot.
think
Come on, Joe.
I think EG and FaZe stick
Joe,
together.
you want to put money on it, Joe?
You think EG and FaZe stick together?
Yep.
I think you're wrong.
That's okay. They just won the World Championship.
I still think they change.
-1 for Joe.
I agree.
I'm the host. -1 for both of them. Smoked. Yeah. All right, fellas, strap on your A40 Astro Gaming headsets. And, well, Benson, you won. We already know what you get. You get to put on the special edition Trading Shots A40 TR headset. Benson, if you take a look, Astro added some custom speaker tags for our finale. With that, it's time for the Smack Talk Winner's Circle presented by Astro Gaming. Benson, let's hear it.
Thanks, Joe. I like these custom tags right here. One of Maven, one of me there. That's great. Wow, I won the last episode. I'm going to be honest, I feel like I should have won more. That's definitely a thing. A lot of people have been tweeting at me saying Clint somehow keeps winning. Not sure how he's won, but it's been a privilege to work with both of you on the show. It's been fun. Clint, I still think you say a lot of stupid stuff. That's never going to change. Joe, you're such a good host. thank you so much for being the host. Rich was terrible, absolutely terrible. As for Call of Duty stuff, can't wait for next year. Black Ops 4 is going to be a great season. World War II was a ton of fun. It's just crazy how quick the year has gone. I feel like it was just yesterday. We're all in Columbus, Ohio for the first time. You know, we had our first event as well in Dallas. What an event that was. It's been an emotional ride.
All right, thank you so much, Ben. Not a lot of smack talk there, but I gotta appreciate it. And well, shots of, I'm just kidding. It's our finale. We got one more segment. Now, since this is our last show, we got a little something special planned. A bonus smack talk session for the season champ. Drum roll, please. With a commanding lead of 14-10, Maven is our season winner. Take it away, you bald giant.
Hold on, whoa. How is he the season? Everything post Merc doesn't count. Rich doesn't count. I've been rubbed.
Let him talk. Let him go.
Can't do it until I get the right headset.
No.
Ben.
No.
Ben.
No.
You know what the right thing to do is.
Yeah, keep this on my head.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to be soft like you were. Joe, you are a budget Mr. X. Ben, you are the worst thing to come out of the United Kingdom since Momo. Whoever the hell works on our production team for this show that decides to leave the 30-minute pre-roll in every single YouTube video, thanks for nothing. Why is that? How hard is that? Get rid of the 30 minutes. Thanks, guys. And Ben, you just really haven't been that tough to beat. Usually I would let you in just to keep it close. There's some sort of conversation there. Rise Nation, you got top 16. That was awful. Optic, you didn't get groups. You got a groups. You weren't even in bracket play. That is awful. But no, it's the only positive I would say is this is a new show we did this year. Thank you to the fans that have watched it. It's tough to get a new show off the ground. We've had a lot of fun. We've kind of learned from our mistakes. I think it's improved as the year's gone on. And guess what? There will be more trading shots next year. I will kick the shit out of Ben all year again. Unless the production team decides to give me better competition, which I kind of hope is going to happen. Thank you so much. It's been a great time. Peace.
Well, that was a lot meaner right there from Maven. But I will just have to say, I like it. It is a smack talk. But you are a budget courage. So here we go. A special thank you to our sponsors, ASTRO Gaming, for giving us these wonderful headsets and for enabling us to argue about Call of Duty all year long. Shots were traded and CWL was debated. We'll see you next season when we'll debate Black Ops 4.